Welcome to the video. In this video, we're not going to go over my own story, but actually how you can go from beginner or novice to experienced/expert in high ticket sales and remote closing, and the exact process laid out, literally step for step, what exact process that you can take to become fluent in sales like I have myself over the past 5-6 years. While it is going to take a lot of sales calls, and for me personally, I've taken thousands of sales calls at this point to really get fluent in it, to be able to talk with conviction and be able to know what you're talking about. All of this stuff is going to be information that you can learn, retain, and literally go through step by step to learn the exact process for actually how sales works. And then in this video, it's basically literally taking you step by step exactly through my free guide that I have that's going to be linked in the description, and I'm going to show you the entire process for how to use it to actually study sales. First off, you got to understand really what sales is, or remote closing is, high ticket sales, whatever name you want to call it. In general, you have to understand what exactly it is. So that's why I got, boom, this right here, which is going to be my YouTube rabbit hole. Now, for anyone who's in online business or just honestly had to learn anything on the internet, if you go through about 40 plus hours worth of self-study on YouTube, you can learn literally any type of skill, any type of concept, any part of history, whatever you want. You can use YouTube for that, and I'm sure you know that considering you're watching this in the first place. For me, it's usually around 20 plus hours considering I watch everything on 2x speed because I just do not have time to listen to people slowly monologue. So that's why I also encourage you to turn this up to 1.5x speed so you can retain all this and go through it faster. The videos found here, especially the ones by Paul DeMacrial as well as Jordan Belfort, did a lot for me when I was first learning how to do sales. Jordan Belfort's Whiteboard Wednesdays, the concepts of sales, as well as his live sales call that he has, was a huge training point for myself. And then also way back in the day, the old days, when I had my old mentorship, I used that live sales call as a litmus test to see how good the representatives are that I was teaching at retaining the information that I was teaching them. And then Paul DeMacrial has helped me time and time again specifically handle unique objections that I knew I messed up on the call for whatever reason. I would instantly go search how to do the objection on YouTube, and lo and behold, he literally have a video right there for how exactly to handle that, which was awesome. If staring at a screen is not really your speed, or you just, like the smell of books, you can go the written route, and the books that I recommend for that is going to be Way of the Wolf by Jordan Belfort. It's going to be Never Split the Difference by Chris Voss, and it's going to be Predictable Revenue by Aaron Ross. Jordan Belfort's book, Way of the Wolf, goes from A to Z completely through the entire sales process. It talks about everything from scripts and stuff to tonalities, reasonable man, I'm sure you've heard that a lot, and basically anything you realistically need to be able to have a sales conversation. And then you can go over to Chris Voss's book, Never Split the Difference, which goes more so into the psychology and the inner workings of the human mind, which is honestly one of my favorite books to listen to because on Audible you can 2x speed that, so you can even speed up your intake of reading material. For me, if you want to read it and just love the smell of books, hey, that's on you. You can go ahead and do that. It's a very enjoyable read. There's a lot of really good stories in there. And then when it comes to Aaron Ross's Predictable Revenue, if by chance you've ever heard of Salesforce, he was the guy who kind of made Salesforce a thing in the sense that he helped them a lot with their sales and processes. So it's a lot more higher level, like B2B, structuring for sales teams and concepts and stuff like that. So I'd probably put that after the first two. The first two I'd probably recommend, but that one is also really good as you become more fluent in sales. Now we get to the really fun stuff, and that is going to be the master script. This is a creation of my own design going back, I guess 3 years ago now, back when I was an old head, way before I'm about to turn 23 this year and get my first gray hairs. When I had a old mentorship, I created a master script which was an amalgamation of all of my prior sales experience at that time. I have notes for why I ask everything where all throughout it. You can go ahead and check it out and see literally me regurgitating all the information from all the books, all the YouTubes, all the sales training that I've ever had up until that point. That is on that script, and I use that to teach my students, as well as I used that as a basis for all my sales agency clientele's scripts. I would go through, tweak their scripts because I knew that this process worked and ended up helping them make more money, simply put. I also have an in-depth training of that here on that same document that I've been referring to, and you are allowed to watch it. However, comma parentheses, semicolon with bracket, you have to excuse the unfortunate mustache that I have at the time. It was around the time when, you weren't necessarily allowed to go out of your house too much, yada yada, not gonna get into all that bit, but basically I decided it would be fun to do that, and so every time someone goes through my training or my old mentee students past when I actually shaved it, they always make fun of me for it, but it's what it is. You're allowed to watch it if you promise not to laugh. But I basically created a client training breaking down the entirety of that script and have some extra details in there. I highly recommend watching that video. Now that you know what sales is, we get into the kind of even more fun part, which is actually handling objections. So here I have a handling objection guide that we use as a VSL or video sales letter, basically something promoting the mentorship that we had way back in the day. And so this is a video of me just going through and handling the most common objections there are, my own objection handling mentality, and you can go through, study that process. There's also a lot of great videos on YouTube, like I mentioned, the Paul Macriel guy, as well as other people that I have listed on there. All those guys are people that I either used myself or are authority figures in the sales space. I recommend all of their content, definitely go through it. But this is going to help you with handling objections and understanding in the first place how exactly even to do that. Aside from that handling objection stuff, also around that area, I have what exactly a sales funnel is, so you can understand that concept. If you approach someone to maybe close for them and they don't really have a sales funnel, you can even pitch them on helping them put together a brief sales funnel, which is not hard once you know how to do it, and from there help them make a lot of money and get an even better testimonial. But actually, aside from that, I also have how to land gigs for free right there, a mini training on that, and actually get your first opportunities. On the actual document, you'll see at the top of it, I actually have pictures that I take from conversations I have from people who've gone through the free sales guide. I've actually had a lot of people get success and make money with that alone. And so this works, definitely recommend checking it out. But right here, I go over how exactly to land gigs for free. So check that out as well. Past that, I go a little bit into what I'm working on right now. Got a couple different things I'm working on right now. One of them is originally I was operating a sales agency, sales manager at a sales agency that started with my buddy. And then we started a hiring platform for high ticket sales reps / inbound closers / remote closers, whatever you want to call it, in the online space, the space we work directly in, and most likely you want to directly work in. And that's actually honestly the entire reason that I have this channel, and I've been growing it and promoting it as I have been, just because the more I educate you individuals and you get your first sales experience and you get a high estimated revenue closer generated for different people and learn how to do sales, eventually you can get listed on my platform if you have enough criteria to be verified, and then you can go ahead, help my clientele make money, you also make money, and then my clients have paid me, so I make money, so everyone's making money. It's just a flywheel effect, so that's why. I also here have a few communities and mentorships that I've personally vetted, gone through, and actually pulled from to place representatives inside of that hiring platform, Closify or tryclosify.com. So these people, I don't know them, I know how they work, I vouch for them. I would definitely go and check those out if you're looking to put a little bit of money where your mouth is. At the end of the day, mentorship is going to be the fastest way to have success in any business model. Having someone there able to walk you through the entire process so that you don't have to wade through awful offers like I did for 1.5 years before I started even making anywhere near livable income doing this. If there was a good mentorship around the time that I knew about when I first started, I wouldn't 100% have done that if I knew it was going to save me all of this time. So I lived and learned. You don't have to. Learn from me. I'm a good example, promise. Lastly, I'm going to keep digging up prior resources that I have and updating this guide, maybe even give it a overhaul for like how it looks and maybe get a designer to make it look good. However, right here, I also include a link to Facebook groups that I used to pull from for Closify and post in. However, listen, tread with caution. This is Facebook after all right? There's a lot of people who will post opportunities and say they're gonna do one thing, maybe do another thing. Basically, you can't trust any people on here, all right? Just like stranger danger. be cognizant, have more than 2 brain cells, and don't do anything rash, stupid, and just obviously take care of yourself. But if you're looking for Facebook communities to go and look around in and maybe land an opportunity, here it is. And if you've stayed this long, like and subscribe because I told you to. And also, I'm going to take it if you're here at this point. It's been fairly informational. I'm going to keep adding resources like I mentioned to that document and flesh it out more. If you're interested in getting more so into the online sales space and you have any questions for me not answered in that free guide, or are interested in anything that I talked about today, reach out to me. I'm more than willing to help you out. Go back and forth in the DMs so that you can be successful in sales, because like I said, if you're successful, hopefully at the end of the day, maybe it'll trickle back to me. And with that being said, I hope you all have a great rest of your day. Thanks for watching. Peace.